Welcome to Village TV, the story behind small business and entrepreneurs. Today I'm joined by Pauline, who's going to talk to us how to get bums on seats with cash. Pauline, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Sean.
It's so great to have you. You're like an icon in the Sydney area when it comes to like JVs, joint venture partnerships. This woman has put thousands, tens of thousands of people on databases through joint ventures, and she's going to share her secret tips. I'm hoping she's going to share her secret tips.
A few of them.
A few little gold nuggets about the benefits of joint ventures, why everyone should have one, how you should have one. What else are we talking about?
Well, the mistakes, I guess, that people make sometimes. Yes.
Because joint ventures, everyone's like, yeah, we'll like partner up and we'll like be like best buddies and we'll make tons of cash from it. But it doesn't always work that way. It
doesn't. Unfortunately, often what happens is people have a crack at it and it just goes horribly wrong and they never, ever, ever go back to that space again. So, and
it's sad because joint ventures, there's so much power in doing joint ventures.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. How long have you been doing joint ventures for?
I think I've been doing them for about at least 10 years.
Wow.
Yes. Probably more, actually. But 10 good years, let's say that.
And very successful,
yes.
Proved you've helped a lot of businesses grow exponentially through joint ventures.
Yeah.
What convinced you that joint ventures were the best way forward?
Oh, okay. I think what convinced me was I was working on this particular joint venture, and you know, you can never work on one joint venture, Sean. That's the first challenge.
Being entrepreneurs, you never do one thing at a time.
You need to have about 30 in the bag, and you just slowly work through them. So anyway, there was one that I was working with, and it was probably 6 months, I think, in the making, this joint venture, right?
Okay.
So eventually this guy says, you know what, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to email your invitation out to my list. And I said, okay, great. And I remember thinking, oh, I wonder if we'll get 50 registrations, if we'll get 100 registrations. And I was sitting there, I was pressing the F5 key and the F5 key and the F5 key, and I was like, this is insane. And it got up to 732 registrations from one relationship. And I was sold. At that point, I was sold. I just went, why would anybody ever go to a client when you can go to the person that has all the clients? And it made so much sense to me.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And it probably was one of your cheapest marketing strategies.
It was free. Yeah,
even better.
completely free. Well, it took my time and energy, and you know, but outside of that, yeah, it was completely free.
Love it. Now, you talked about mistakes.
Yes.
What do you think are some of the biggest mistakes people make when it comes to joint ventures?
Okay. The number one biggest mistake is that people don't do them. They don't take the time. They honestly don't. They don't take the time. They don't realize the benefits. Like if I said, you know, I could show you a way to triple, quadruple your income, you'd have to listen. But yet people don't. They just, you know, it seems too good to be true sometimes, I think. You know?
And there's a bit of work that you have to put into joint ventures. You still have to create the win-win environment.
You do.
You still have to respect their database and, you know, treat them properly. I mean, that's what sometimes I get annoyed. People come as like, you know, we'll just like, I want to flog your database. That's what it comes across as sometimes.
It's like meeting somebody in the bar and saying, hey, let's go and have sex, as opposed to, hey, do you want to catch up for a coffee next Wednesday? Right? And people take it in the wrong way. It's like there is a process that you need to go through, but you also have to have a bunch of stuff ready before you even make the call. So that's the second mistake, Sean, is that people, like if I had a conversation with you and you don't know me from a bar of soap, and I'm trying to sell you this great joint venture and we can partner and we've got the same clients and it's going to be amazing and we're all going to make tons of money, right? And you're going to say, send me something, right?
And how do we make this happen?
Yeah, so I'm going to get off the phone and go, what am I going to send to Sean? So, right, you have to have all of that stuff created first so you can just do it.
Written newsletters.
Well, actually, at this point, you're only really talking about an email template that you send to somebody, because if you're approaching 30, 40 people, then you want to find something that you can just basically massage a little bit, maybe use a canned response in Gmail, for instance, so that you can, and again, it's all about efficiency. Joint ventures is all about efficiency. So the more that you can do that, you know, you can replicate simply, because you're not, as I said, you're not going after one joint venture. You're going after 30, 40, 50. I'm probably working on somewhere around 100 right now.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like spinning
Numbers.
plates. Yeah. Yeah,
Numbers.
it is. It's numbers.
And I guess and once you've got the system, it's easy to replicate.
Yes.
It's all about coming up with a winning system, I guess. And I guess that's what you do with a lot of companies. You create those systems.
Yeah.
There's a way to go about it, so you don't feel like you're walking into a bar, smashing someone over the head and dragging them out. You kind of, you're like,
I kind of sidle up to them a little bit.
You're wooing them a little bit, You're like, building relationships.
It is. It's all about relationship building and solving problems. So if I can solve a problem, not just for you, but for your clients, and that's what we need to think about today is how do you solve problems for your potential joint ventures clients?
Yeah.
Because if you can do that, that's already a win. Okay. But then you've got to think, well, what else can you do for that person?
It's all about value add. So
it is, yes.
Yeah, and so you're helping them help their clients, giving potentially them more business, plus you getting business.
Yeah, and creating lots of great products along the way. The one thing when you connect with certain joint venture partners is you can create specific reports that work for them. And then from the report, people might want to find out a little bit more. So then they might go to a webinar that could be free. It could be on auto, play or something. Yeah. So you're building up your product funnel, and often the benefit of doing joint ventures for other people is that they get to build up their product funnel as well.
Yes.
And they may never have thought of that before.
I love that way of thinking. It's just, I think business, as you said, they don't think enough about how they can go about creating those joint ventures, and they're missing out.
Yeah, it's all about collaboration.
And the benefits of JVs are huge.
Yes.
It's a database building, it's putting bums on seats.
It's like systemized lead generation. Yes. That's free. Really? I mean, in a nutshell, that's what it is. Like I differentiate between bums on seats and bums on seats with cash. Because I think anyone could put bums on seats, but if you want to sell something, right, if you want that person to become a client of someone, then you need to have someone that is going to be qualified.
And actually spend a bit of coin.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing. I think, people run events now. There's, how do I get people to attend? How do I do this? And all you had to do was call Pauline. No, jokes. All you had to do was set up a really good joint venture partner.
Yeah, well, set up a system. Set up a process. Like the great thing about joint ventures is, you could set aside, and I know this is going to sound crazy, but you could set aside, say, 2 hours every single day to reach out to people that you want to partner with. That's it. 2 hours a day.
Love it. As long as you've got your systems in place, you can go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, so the people there are basically sitting there and they're like salivating because they want to start a joint venture partner. How do you go about starting a joint venture partner? What do you think? What are the a couple of steps that you have to do?
Okay, so this is the way I think about it. I think if I went to a networking event and I connected with you, right, and I have, let's say I've got 500 of your perfect target market, right, and I said to you, look, Sean, I've got 500 of your perfect target market right here, but how am I going to tell them about you? So you'd have to give me something, right? It'd have to be an email. It'd have to be downloadable. It might be, maybe a direct mail piece. It's going to be something, some way for me to communicate with my clients your value.
Love it.
Okay, so you've got to have those types of things ready. You've also got to be in a position where you're staying in that really collaborative mindset of like, great, what else can we do? What else can we achieve together? Because two people together is, it's not 2 + 2 = 4. It's way beyond that. So I think just little things like really understanding the value that you bring, understanding your target market, and then asking yourself, where does your target market go before they see you, and where do they go after they see you? So like, who has your clients already? And then just go and get that person.
I'm liking. It's so easy.
It is easy. It really is.
Just ask Pauline. No, seriously now. I heard you have the most awesome joint venture report.
I do.
Well, tell them.
Okay,
they're all waiting.
All right. Look, I thought about all the mistakes that people make when they do joint ventures. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to do a report so that people can see what are the mistakes that they might be making and then how to avoid them. Right? Okay. So I kept it very simple. At first it wasn't simple, I can tell you. I was creating my own product and it was way too long. So that's the other thing you've got to think about is what is it that's going to be the next step. So the next step for anybody watching this is to go to jvschool.com.au and to download the free report that's there. I didn't bring my pom-pom, Sean. I didn't.
So there you have jvschool.com.au. Get a great report, how you can get started with joint ventures. Pauline, you've been absolutely amazing. I've loved this discussion, by the way.
Good.
I love relationships. I value them so much, and I do agree. I think a lot of people don't put enough effort into making well-constructed joint ventures, and I must be guilty of it here as well. But you know, I think there's a lot of there we can do that doesn't cost anything, that can benefit both sides of the relationship. So I think we both, or all of us, have a lot of work to do. Pauline, again, jvschool.com.au. Thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure.
Loved it, loved it, loved it. Get out there, create joint ventures. This is Village TV and Pauline from jvschool.com.au.
Thanks
for having you.
Thanks.
Cheers for now.